Ferry captain and first officer convicted in the drowning death of a passenger. This is from the Maritime Exclusive, and it was published on the 28th of February 2025. A jury in Greece found the captain and first officer of a ferry guilty in a tragic 2023 case where a late arriving passenger was pushed to his death as the ferry departed the port. The court rejected claims of a spontaneous action where prosecutors argued nothing was done to save the victim and the ferry kept sailing. The incident in which a 36-year-old male passenger was pushed from the car ramp on the departing ferry Blue Horizon caused national outrage in Greece after videos began circulating on social media. The stern ramp on the ferry was still down, a violation of maritime protocols, and 4 crew members were standing there as the late passenger came running up and jumped onto the ramp. He was in a scuffle with the crew member as the ferry began to move. In the video, the crew member appeared to push the man, who fell into the arbor and was caught in the wake. He drowned while the crew and the horrified passengers looked on. Family members argued that he could have purchased a ticket on board if he did not have one, or that the crew members could have taken him into custody and turned him over to the Coast Guard or the police. Prosecutors argued that in addition to deliberately pushing the passenger, the crew stood there and made no effort to aid the person in the water. Charges were brought against the captain and the first officer who was on the ramp and pushed the man, as well as 2 other crew members who was also on the stern of the vessel. The incident took place on September the 5th, 2023, as the ferry departed at 9 p.m. The vessel continued to sail and did not return to port for approximately 40 minutes until the Port Authority and the Coast Guard demanded its return. Defense attorneys for the captain argued there was no intent to cause death, while also emphasizing gaps in port security as well as the role of the Coast Guard and port security. Attorneys for the first officer argued it was a spontaneous response and there was no intent to cause harm, only to deny boarding of the late arriver. The defense has sought to have charges changed from intent and manslaughter to negligence. The jury convicted the first officer of manslaughter, and the court handed down a sentence of 12.5 years in prison. The captain was convicted for allowing the ferry to depart after the fatal incident and covering up the crime. The captain was sentenced to 7 years and 5 months. This is very sad. A lot of people did a lot of stuff wrong here, including the guy that tried to jump on a moving ferry. I don't think for a second that the first officer tried to harm the guy. He just wanted him off the ferry. I'm sure this happened very, very fast. The fact that nobody tried to save this guy when he was in the water, that's the disturbing part. And the ferry just left the area. Very strange, that's for sure. Rest in peace to the man who lost his life, and condolences to his family.